Welcome to the podcast, where we bring you real conversations that shape the future of infrastructure, safety and innovation across the UK. I'm Monica Barbosa, Client Services Director here at RSS Infrastructure, and today's episode takes a closer look at intelligent fingerprint drug testing. With safety-critical industries under increasing pressure to balance operational efficiency with legal compliance and employee well-being, many are now turning to sweat-based fingerprint testing as a smarter, faster alternative to traditional methods. Joining me today are three people at the forefront of this technology. First, we have Terry Elvin, expert and representative from Intelligent Fingerprinting.
Hi.
So Intelligent Fingerprinting is the pioneering company behind the innovation transforming workplace drug screening. Also with us is Leanda Waring, Fingerprint Drug Testing Training Manager here at Auctus Management Group, who leads on the implementation and onboarding of the solution across rail and light rail projects. And rounding out the conversation, we're joined by Jennifer, HR Officer at Auctus Management Group. So Jennifer's going to offer some insights into how this technology supports fair, effective workforce management from the people perspective. Together we'll explore the science, the practicalities and the future impact of fingerprint drug testing on how companies approach safety and compliance. So Terry, to start us off, how does the fingerprint drug testing actually work? What makes it scientifically different from, the normal methods such as urine or saliva testing?
From a science perspective, it's broadly similar. We all use lateral flow technology. I suppose the key differentiator is the method of collection. Luckily, everybody sweats, so we can get a consistent sample from all donors. So in that terms, we're no different. We're around sort of 95% accurate. And all we're doing is collecting a sweat sample from your fingertips. It's as simple as that. And then from that sweat, we can detect any drug metabolites within that sample. The key differentiator between us and the other matrices that you mentioned is our window of detection. We're more focused around fitness for duty. We will go back around 24 hours. So what it enables clients to do is actually learn something from their testing. And that's really critical when we're looking at things like for cause testing. Has there been a potential consumption that has influenced an outcome? So they're the main key difference is our window of detection.
So you said that it's sweat-based testing. But how actually reliable is sweat-based testing, when it comes to detecting drug metabolites, especially in like a real life condition on the railways?
Good question. So firstly, it's really important to recognise we all sweat. It's part of our human makeup. So collection of a sample is straightforward and consistent. But also in terms of accuracy, detecting metabolites in sweat is in and around 95%, and that aligns with all the other matrices available.
Leanda, so from your experience of actually training a lot of the teams across rail and light rail sector, what are some of the common myths and the unexpected reactions you actually get from people when they first try and use the system?
So usually what you'll have is people will say, well, I've obviously touched something, which is one of the common ones you'll have. Will it pick up? I don't know, they might have got the train in, they might have got the bus in. Will they pick anything up from there? Which obviously, as Terry will know, that isn't the case because it's coming from the sweat. So it wouldn't be something that you have then touched. That is the main one really that we do have. And then you will also find that they'll think that we're taking some kind of DNA from them, which obviously isn't the case. No. So them are the two common ones really that you will find. And once they then do know about it, they then will know that obviously that isn't the case.
Yeah, contamination is a real concern for donors. We all know in society there are background levels of drugs, whether it's on banknotes, whether it's on door handles, buses, trains, etc. And we did a specific study with the University of Surrey to look at that background level of contamination. And what that enabled us to do in the screen that we take is that we start that measurement above that base level. So we've managed to find that base level of background contamination and eliminate it from the screen, therefore giving confidence that that result is as accurate as it can be.
Yes, it's come from their sweat rather than anything.
Yes, absolutely.
So Jen, from a HR standpoint, how has the fingerprint drug testing actually influenced your, approach to onboarding, well-being, as well as, fair testing policies?
So it influences us a lot within HR. You look at your onboarding system, it creates an easy process. Yeah. It's very streamlined, it's quick and easy to use, it eliminates risk for our employees, making sure that they go out on site and they're safe. Yeah. Within policies, it's, you follow a procedure, no one's kind of going off stray. And it's also a deterrent within this culture of our work.
Yeah, we have a really big safety culture, and if that's able to deter some people obviously from making certain decisions, I think that's really impactful. For companies actually thinking about adopting the fingerprint drug testing, what should they actually prepare for, to ensure that it's smooth and compliant rollouts across their company?
I think there are a number of influencing factors. I think first and foremost, you need a robust policy. That's the first starting point. And because it goes across multiple parts of the organisation, from HR to safety, getting group-wide buy-in is also really important, because you want to hit the ground running.
Yeah.
Once those decisions have been made, actually we do the rest in terms of onboarding, training, delivery, amnesty periods, all of those things. We can build a really comprehensive plan for a smooth and effective rollout.
Yeah, is that how you guys found it as well when you put it in Auctus?
Yeah, definitely. I think it comes foremost with the policies, doesn't it? And making sure that everybody is on board with it. Because if you have that one that's not, obviously that can obviously then cause something within the company that can't it. So I think it's just making sure that the policies are in place, really, isn't it, Jen? Yeah.
So across the board, whether it's HR, frontline staff as well, or safety teams, what kind of feedback are you guys getting, and hearing from people actually using this technology?
So I think the main one would be the operatives, so the frontline workers. Yeah. When we've drug and alcohol tested them using intelligent fingerprinting, they have said how happy they was to do a drug and alcohol test, which I have never known that in my whole almost 5 years of being here. They liked it because they knew that everybody that was working with them was not on drugs, that they were safe to be working with them. Yeah. And I think that's one that will always stick with me, of how excited people was to use the new technology for rail and light rail. So I think that is something that is the main one, really, that the operatives actually enjoy drug and alcohol testing.
Yeah, I think they do really embrace innovation. I think that's a myth really that they have in our industry, is that the rail industry, we're a bit behind, we don't embrace innovation, whether it's drug testing, geofencing, whatever it may be. But actually, as you've kind of noticed out on the ground, when you are speaking to staff, they are really excited about it. Yeah, so I think that is something we need to take into consideration, really.
Yeah, we live in a modern world, and actually, the invasive nature of some of the other methods that are out there, whilst they do a wonderful job and they do exactly as we do, it's really important to consider the donor, mental health, all of those different impacts that being asked to do a drug test, whether you've consumed something or you haven't, it's still a very awkward thing to do, and nobody really enjoys doing it, and very awkward from a donor perspective, whether you be male, whether you be female. Very, very different processes involved, and it's important that we look at innovation and look at ensuring we maintain safety, and we're not moving away from something and losing something, but we're adding value and we're being innovative and we're making positive change.
I think that's a really good point about being non-invasive as well, because obviously we're trying to get more women into rail, more young people as well, and by adopting these kind of technologies that are non-invasive, it makes it more of a comfortable as drug testing can be situation. I think it will open up a lot more doors to know that we're moving with the modern world as well.
Yeah,
I think that's also for collectors as well.
Yeah, definitely.
So it is nicer, not only for the donor, but for a collector, that it is non-invasive, because other drug testings are invasive, aren't they, really? Yeah. So having one that's not invasive is nicer for the collector as well. So, yeah.
So the actual cartridge itself, as you know, when you're doing a regular drug testing, you obviously, it's hazardous materials, etc., what it may be. So with that, how do you
Yeah, traditional methods, because they're handling bodily fluids, it has to go into biohazardous waste, and obviously that has its environmental implications. Our product can actually be disposed of in general waste, so there is no specialist waste facilities required. We're working towards complete recyclability of that cartridge.
Wow,
We're around 90% of the components, and when we
Wow.
take back Auctus cartridges from them, we break them down and we recycle them.
That's incredible, because you never hear about that. So.
Yeah, so
Okay.
it's the whole package, isn't it? It's not
Yeah.
just one thing that's important. It's meeting all the needs of all the different things within the organisation.
Yeah. So to close, Terry, what developments are actually on the horizon, that could actually expand how, fingerprint drug testing is either, used or what it detects as well?
The beauty about technology is we're always innovating. The first thing on the horizon is we're currently in a 510k submission for FDA approval, which is really exciting for the organisation. One of the things I'm most excited about for the future is our technology as a platform technology. So whilst we can detect drug metabolites and we can expand panels and do lots of things in that space, equally we don't know what else we can detect in sweat. So we're a platform technology. There could be the potential to look at stress markers, hormone markers, cortisol, cancer markers. It's a bit untapped and unknown in terms of what capabilities, what we can do, but we've got a research and development team working hard on that constantly. So excited about the future.
That brings us to the end of today's episode. I want to say a huge thank you obviously to Terry Elvin from Intelligent Fingerprinting, and to my wonderful colleagues Leanda Waring and obviously Jen from Auctus Management Group for sharing their insights into how fingerprint drug testing is actually shaping the future of workplace safety and compliance. If your organisation is exploring smarter, faster and more dignified approaches to drug screening, whether it's for pre-employment checks, site access or safety critical roles, fingerprint drug testing could be the solution you're looking for. To find out more or book a demonstration, please contact us at Auctus Management Group. Thank you all for tuning in to our first episode. Stay safe, and I look forward to seeing you next time.